the article that you're referring to that was published in the Wall Street Journal talks about a certain faction of the American right and their views on Hungary. And my argument is that it's not exactly the whole picture. However, this article actually really fits in. If you think about the story that your podcast is saying on the whole, which is China's involvement in South America, China's involvement in Africa, the Middle East, the Muslim world, and even Western Europe with Macron, etc. The research that I've done on which this article is founded introduces a new element to the picture, which is Central Europe and Eastern Europe. And what is China's role in these particular parts, which you can say sort of the periphery of Europe, the forgotten part. It used to be called the Second World when it was under the Soviet bloc. China is really, really interested in the Balkans, like Serbia, but it's also interested in Hungary. And Serbia and Hungary are two countries that represent the maximum amount of foreign direct investment by China. And China has really been focusing not only on investment, but also infrastructure with Huawei, broadband technology, and including logistics and sort of transportation, all of that. China wants to, and this is very important, and I want to underscore, China also wants to be a superpower. And China wants to be the number one global superpower. So there's a lot of talk about, the United States doesn't want to lose its hegemony, doesn't want to lose its place. And that's why it's threatened by China or doesn't like China. But it's not like China's just sitting put. China's actively trying to create a new world order in which it is the center. That is why I came up with the Belt and Road Initiative. That's the whole point of it. When you look at Europe, so I spent a year in Budapest, Hungary. I traveled in Slovakia, Romania, the entire part of Croatia, Slovenia. So what is, and Serbia, Bulgaria, all of those places. What is China trying to do? China is trying to do exactly what it's doing in South America and in Africa. It goes to these very underdeveloped or developing nations, which have sort of corrupt governments or, let's say, an oligarchy dominated government, and they don't really have services in the private sector. And what does China say? Well, I can give you broadband technology. And Huawei and CT are the main ones, but Huawei is the main one. And it says here, I'm going to give you broadband technology, which is important, which everybody wants and needs. But by doing that, it's not some kind of altruistic endeavor. Hey, look, from the goodness of our heart, we have all this extra money. We're going to give it to you. No, it's not. Because when Huawei comes in, it's a telecommunications giant. It's going to create an entire infrastructure. And with that, it creates an accompanying ecosystem that has e-commerce, e-finance, apps, what have you. And then that particular country is now integrated into the Sinosphere. All the infrastructure that China is investing in these countries is to support the extractive agenda. So, like I said, they're not just going and creating schools for children to study or for, to help farmers become semi-skilled industry workers. It's not like that. Whatever is being created so that it helps Chinese interests, as you said, national interests, in getting whatever raw materials they want. They need food. They're buying up agricultural land, even in the United States, because they need that. So wherever they can go and get, they are investing that money and getting it. And it's kind of, when people talk about political polarization within countries, this is kind of in the world where they're saying, look, there are the haves and the have-nots, and we are the have-nots, but we're going to help you become haves if you throw your lot in with us.